Good morning. I'm speaking to you from Rato Dratsang in the Tibetan settlement in Mungod in the south of India. We are presently in lockdown mode due to the Covid-19 virus. This is a strange time. And we are here in this monastery in a rather strange situation in that this lockdown imposes upon us a hermit's life, a monastic life, the life that we've actually chosen. And that's interesting because, in a sense, it demonstrates the fact that each one of us experiences life differently. Each one of us experiences the same situations according to his or her own karma or past actions. So that as we proceed along our paths within this monastic community, not able to do all the things that we normally do, but able to do most of them, that is the result of our past actions. The poor people who are suffering so tremendously in Europe, in America, have suffered already in China. Each one of them was experiencing the result of his or her own karma or past actions. And this is not a judgment of those who have suffered more than others. It's the laws of cause and effect manifesting. We all have a store of negative past actions that will arise when the causes and conditions are ripe. However, as I say, there are those who have experienced great suffering, and there are those who haven't, and that is the result of their actions. I think it's important to acknowledge that this situation is neither some kind of spiritual message nor some kind of inherently evil thing. It's a phenomenon that has arisen. It's something that we are confronting, and it has no evil intention. It simply acts naturally. What we have the opportunity to do is to react in respect to the situation in, let's say, a spiritual manner, in a proactive, virtuous manner. We have the opportunity to take this and make use of it in our own development, our own evolution. That's the opportunity that it provides, and that we can actually make use of. We can act with enormous fear, we can act with anger, we can act in all sorts of ways. The way we react to the situation is our responsibility and will determine our future. And so this is, I want to repeat, this is not a statement claiming that there is any kind of positive potential in this disease, or that there is a negative potential in this disease. The disease is terrible, the disease is horrible, and the suffering that it has caused is evident. However, it does provide us with an opportunity, as does any situation, difficult or non-difficult. And making use of that situation in some kind of a constructive way is our responsibility. Each of our responsibilities. In other words, it's a totally individual thing. As we go through our lives, there are times of wonder. There are times of it can be the way in which the breeze blows the scent of the jasmine bush that we have here in the garden. It can be the ways in which the palm fronds blow in the wind. It can be a number of things. If we can enjoy, if we can appreciate each one of those wonders in our lives, simple wonders, the chirping of birds that we haven't heard because we've been so busy with other things, those moments of delight are to be cherished, are to be enjoyed, are to be appreciated, pushing ourselves further to actually appreciate all the causes, all the different things that have contributed to the wonder that we are experiencing. And I think that as we, even in these difficult situations, actually take the time, take the moment of objectivity to appreciate what we do have, delight in it, and appreciate all the causes, all those who have contributed in some ways, the human beings, the animals, nature, and thank all who have contributed. Develop a feeling of appreciation as well as responsibility, as well as some kind of a wish to repay, contribute back to others, contribute back to our environment, contribute back to the animals, the insects, the birds who help nature thrive in the wonderful way that it does. So our situation, whatever it is, provides us with these opportunities. And the important thing is to seize the opportunities and to make positive use of them. That's the job of an individual spiritual practitioner, and that's the job of each of us now, I think, as we make our way through these difficult times. We pray for all those who are suffering. We wish that their suffering would be removed. We wish we had the power to actually remove it and take it upon ourselves and provide them with happiness. We don't have that power, but we wish to develop the ability to do so. And so we commit ourselves to serving others, to being able to better help others. So how do we meditate on this situation? The most constructive type of meditation to engage in is analytical meditation, where we think about something and we try to have our minds change according to our thought. Our habitual mind wishes to have happiness and to have things the way we want them to be. And when we are confronted with difficulty, we get frustrated. And so to work at changing that habitual way of thinking and make use of a difficult situation is done by meditation. So here we find ourselves in this situation of being under lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We can't go out. We are meant to wear our masks. I've taken my mask out for this talk. And we live in fear of this contracting this disease, which can be extremely serious. What's more, we have friends, we have loved ones who are experiencing this disease, or who may be experiencing a far more difficult, challenging situation in protecting themselves. And then we have friends in hospital. We have friends on ventilator. We have friends who have died. So how do we confront, how do we deal with, how do we change our minds in respect to the situation? The most basic element that we as spiritual practitioners are working at changing is our selfish attitude to life. And we want to change it into a selfless one. We want to change from wishing everything to be perfect and fine for me to one in which we wish for the happiness of others. And though that's a very high ideal, it is one that we can wish to develop. It is one that we can familiarize ourselves with. It is one that we can see the value in. And if we sit and we think of the negative aspects of self-cherishing, the negative aspects of merely wishing things to be right for ourselves, and if we see the wonder in wishing others to be happy, the wonder in wishing to have the ability to remove the suffering of others, simply thinking like that begins to have an effect on us. Simply wishing that we could remove the suffering of others, that we could provide them with all that they wish for, begins to work on ourselves, begins to diminish that selfish attitude and develop some kind of a selflessness. And so thinking like this, just recognizing the suffering of others and conjuring up some kind of wish to remove that suffering and provide them with happiness, simply thinking like that begins to change us. That's meditation.